Well, let's go ahead and move over to the Super League. And we have the biggest blowouts, not that we've seen this year, obviously, but of the weekend. And it was Carolina Ascent versus Lexington, where the Ascent win 4-0, and it was an easy 4-0. You end up getting Harding with a brace. You get Mia Corbin with a goal. You get Riley Mattingly Parker with a goal, and it's one of those things that it was just an absolute rout from Lexington against Lexington for Carolina. And Carolina is finding themselves, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head, tied for points as second and third, basically, and they're knocking on the door for top of the table. This is a team that is in form, and it's a fun team that maybe that signing that they had from Tampa Bay Sun of Riley Manley Parker, yes, I'm biased, where maybe she was a bit of the missing attacking piece.
Absolutely, with Riley Parker in this game. Carolina has been from the jump a team that wants to be pretty expansive in the way they build out. Like they're in that kind of 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1-ish base, depending on how high up Mia Corbin wants to play. But they're really looking to switch you over the wings and rely on that. Riley Parker is the perfect player to take advantage. And you saw her getting behind, isolating against a fullback a number of times. I want to say she ended up with 3 or 4 shots and I think a goal as well, but really stirring the drink for Carolina. Sort of a similar discussion to Oakland where Lexington just didn't bring it on their side. So many sloppy mistakes from the back. I thought the ability of Carolina to isolate them again and again out wide was a real red flag. These are problems we've been talking about since the Super League kicked off. We're under new management at this point in Lexington, but it's still kind of this game of whack-a-mole that they can never quite win.
I watched this match, but I don't really remember this. I'm kind of looking at the average positionings that's on the website. And I watched the match, but I don't really remember this. Was Emma Johnson, the right back, really tucking in that far into the middle, like the entire time? Like, it's listing her almost as a central midfielder. I don't remember her being that inverted. Which,
Mid-game position change.
okay, that makes more
Yeah.
sense. But just in general, this was I do feel bad. It kind of gets brought up into the chat where it feels like that we only talk about Lexington Super League when they perform badly.
When have they performed well?
I do hate to say that, but we also talked about them kind of recently in that I feel like they're so close with a lot of things. I believe in the pieces that they have. I believe in the attack. I believe in the defensive pieces. I think Sarah Cox is an awesome goalkeeper. I think they have individual pieces everywhere, but it just does not fit. And I'm not sure if it's because they don't fit in with whatever system now Coach Stocks is trying to do, or if it is just these players just don't mesh, which it very well could be, because when you look at the individual talent on the field, it feels like it should work.
A lot of talented players. I think Stockley is a pretty good manager as well. But there's the DNA of a team that doesn't quite know what they want to be. They're making sloppy mistakes quite often. And even while I trust Sarah Cox as a shot stopper, her with the ball at her feet was a real fiasco against the Ascent. It's a lot of simple things where Lexington is losing the mental game. They're defeating themselves in a way, which can almost be like the hacky fallback where that's what you say about a bad team. But it really is true when you watch Lexington play. Like it's the simple stuff that's getting them.
Also, I'm just going to throw it out there. If you're going to wear this is my boomer take. This is my boomer take. Numbers should mean something. Your center back wearing the 7 is criminal, and you deserve to lose 4-0 because of that.
Okay, Portland, Sean Vinberg breaking out the 7 kit at center back. What are we doing there?
I hate it. I
I
hate
know.
it.
Morally, we at the USL Show morally opposed to this.
By the way, can somebody in Lexington explain why Maddie Parsons is not starting? Because I was also curious about that. If for our Lexington people in the chat, please let me know. We didn't really talk about this match because it was last week. It was last Wednesday, but Spokane is looking really good right now in the Super League. The Spokane Zephyr is like really starting to heat up, and they are a team that I'm really keeping an eye on because they were really bad. Really bad. And they're starting to turn it around a bit where I am looking very favorably towards this Spokane Zephyr side that maybe if they can just kind of keep on their trajectory, maybe they're going to be fighting for that fourth and final spot in the playoffs. It's going to be hard because they dug themselves a hole. But what they're doing right now is great. Cook is scoring. She is just really doing some great stuff. And this whole team is just kind of playing a team attack, team defense, and it looks a lot better than it did when they ended the fall section of the league.
I've believed in the principles and the style that Joe Johnson has been rolling with pretty much all season long. My issue right now is that if you look at the table, they're 8 points behind Dallas. They played one more game than Dallas. That's a pretty big hurdle to clear if you want to get into the 4 seed and make the playoffs. I think it's a real boon for the Zephyr project in general. Like you can trust, okay, we have the vision, we understand where we're going as a club. We feel good maybe rolling into the season after this. But I don't know, man. This is a tough league. There's not going to be a lot of easy points for Spokane to make up that ground.